Well, I guess it's my turn to be in the spotlight. Hey everyone, welcome to the video. This weekend we're finally kicking off our 2025 season. Myself and Andy Hollingham are back out in the Subaru Impreza for our first event of the year, which is the Short Rally Van Morse Leader. This will be our first time returning to an event in Belgium after doing the rally last year, so we're really looking forward to having some familiarity. What do you mean they've changed all the fucking stages? The event is the perfect way to kick off the season, with a compact route consisting of 2 stages repeated 4 times that total about 80 stage kilometres. Last year when we did Morse Leader, it was our first event in Belgium in the Subaru, and it was also our first closed road event in the car. It was a baptism of fire and a massive challenge to learn in such tricky conditions, but we loved every minute of it. The event is traditionally the first round of the Flemish Rally calendar, which means it attracts a really good entry. Some of Belgium's top crews are coming along to do the event to go off the winter complex. Last year we were able to bring home a solid 18th overall. Given how strong the entry is this year, if we could do the same again, I'll be mega happy.
Hi guys, I'm Andy. I am the co-driver for Bill in the BP Rally team in the lovely Subaru Impreza. We've been rallying together now for 15 years, so it's a pretty good relationship we got in the car, and we're only getting quicker and quicker.
For those of you who don't know, this is our Subaru Impreza. Despite what a lot of people think, it's not a WRC car, although it does look like one. It was originally built by ProDrive as a narrow body recce car used by the WRC team. Since then it's gone through many evolutions over the years. It was first built in the year 2000, and I guess bobble hatters would call it a P2000 tribute car. It now has the WRC wide body kit, but underneath I would say it's a modern clubman spec. It has a fully built engine, a 6-speed sequential, Öhlins dampers, APs all round, too much to list really. It's a good spec for sure, but it's not a world rally car. If you want us to get into a bit more details about the build and spec of the car, let us know in the comments and maybe we can cover that in another video. Scrutineering was all good, especially compared with last year, where it was the first time that the Belgian scrutineers had seen the car, so they spent a long time going over it last year. This year they know the car now and they did the usual safety checks, but it was much less stressful than last year and we sailed through no problem.
It was nice to come back this year and do an event that we were familiar with, although they typically change the stages, so we had to start this year from a fresh pace notebook.
The recce went really well. We were really pleased with the notes that we'd made, feeling confident going into the Sunday.
Yeah, the recce was really good. Over the winter, I had a bit of training with Ross Whittock, so he helped me kind of develop my skills a bit more, and he's given me some good tips, and it was really nice to put that into practice.
There was a mixture on the stages. There was lots of fast sections, but also tight junctions and a lot of hairpins. But they looked like really good, fun stages. Lots of areas that you could really push and go for it. So Sunday morning we woke up bright and early to clear blue skies. It was a lovely day, but very cold. There was ice at the edges of the road, below freezing overnight. The car, when we arrived, was all iced up. We had to defrost it and let it warm up for some time before we left Parc Fermé. Tyre choice in the morning was fairly straightforward. We went for a soft slick, so we went into the short service in the morning after Parc Fermé, and the boys bolted those tyres onto the car, and out we headed for the first stage. The start of that stage was really tricky. They had off the start line into an immediate square right, which was really narrow, and either side of the road were like 6-foot ditches just waiting to suck you in. So you didn't want to be that person on the first stage putting in a ditch on the first corner. So we tiptoed around that one, but then it was straight onto a really fast section, bumpy as well. So it was probably a kilometre flat out until we got to a hairpin left, where we really hoped that the new brakes were going to work.
There was quite a few long straights in that first part the car was just doing everything we wanted it to do from the off. The car instantly felt spot on. All the work over the winter has come together nicely.
Feeling in the car. The car felt balanced, it felt like it was working really well. To be honest, it's the best the car's ever felt.
You could tell that it was quick straight from the off.
There was a couple of sections on the stage where I knew I could overdrive a little bit, so there was a couple of wild rides for sure. The car was feeling really good and the pace was pretty decent for the first run through there. Towards the end of the stage, we got caught out on a section where there were these big concrete steps on the inside of the corners, and on the first one we took a half car cut to avoid the big drop on the inside. The second one I originally planned not to cut, but I think I'd carried too much speed out of the first right-hander, which compromised my line on the second one, and I dropped the inside wheels just into the cut. Unfortunately, the front of the car then got sucked into the cut because of the concrete step, and we ended up going straight towards a fence post, a concrete fence post. We hit two of them. Fortunately, we were able to pop back onto the road and continue. There wasn't too much time lost, maybe 2 or 3 seconds there, but unfortunately the damage was already done.
I just want to get it out there. I did say don't cut, and the driver thought he knew best, and he cut the corner, and we had a little coming together with some Belgian concrete posts.
I have to take full responsibility for what happened. You know, we marked that as do not cut before, and because of my compromised line, I made the split-second decision to take the risk and drop the car into the cut. And unfortunately, on this occasion, it was not the right decision. Assessing the damage as we were going, checking that the temperatures were not getting too high, making sure that we could continue, but made it through to the end of the stage without losing too much time.
Because the marshal kind of gave us a thumbs up. The water temp was fine, oil temp was fine. When we got to refuel, we checked the car over, and we could see that it was dumping a little bit of coolant, unfortunately.
So there was some cosmetic damage to the headlight and the front bumper, but the slam panel had moved back slightly, which also pushed back the intercooler and the radiator, and the pin from the cooling fan had actually pierced a hole in the radiator, and that's where the leak was coming from. There was too much coolant being lost for us to continue. We would risk doing damage to the engine, so it was decided at that point to retire the car. I have to say sorry to the rest of the team. Obviously Andy and everyone else that works on the car, they come over from England to help on the event, and for it to finish after the first stage is pretty disappointing, and you know, I apologise to everyone for that. So after we made the decision to retire the car, we had a quick look at the times and we're actually sitting in 10th place overall after that first stage, which is amazing really, especially considering the competition that was there and losing some time with the incident as well as after the incident, getting back up to speed. So really happy with the pace, and hopefully we can build on that throughout the rest of the season.
It was pretty incredible considering we've not been in the car for 7 months and we're going up against Rally 2 cars, Rally 3 cars, GT3 RSs. I was quite proud of that, to be fair. Once we got the car back and checked everything over, got it back to the workshop, it was heads down, crack on, get it all apart, identify what we need.
Next up for us in the Subaru is the Montsberg Rally, which is my local event. So hopefully we can get the car back together, all re-prepped and ready for that in around 6 weeks' time.
I can't wait to get back out. The car was good on that stage. It's all come together nicely. So Montberg's going to be, I can feel it's going to be a good one.
For the team, we have another event before that with Scott Barnes and Andy Hall in their Peugeot 106, which is the Salamander Rally over in Wallonia. I'd like to say a big thank you to our partners, so Speedline Course Wheels, Clean Wheels and EPA, Altec Says, Roger Clark Motorsport, Atelier Artique, JFDIT Solutions and Rally Art Photography.